Hi friends, Stephanie here, and I'm back with more movie chatter. And what I have for you today are some Criterion picks for what we hope will be the Barnes& Noble 50% off Criterion sale for the month of November. Now, we thought it was going to start today. It was rumored maybe we thought it was going to start today, Friday the 3rd, but it looks like it's going to be starting Monday the 6th and will run hopefully through the month of November, maybe even into the early December, which will give me plenty of time to do more of these videos with more picks for you. I think I have 12 today. But I also want to include one that is going to be like a Criterion 101 for people who are newer to the collection, to let them know what it is that Criterion does for films and maybe make some picks for people who are just starting out with the collection. And the first one here I have, this is a recent release, but I know it is high on the list for so many people for the sale. So people had asked me about it and about the packaging, so I want to show you that. And it is the Todd Brownings Sideshow Shockers. Try saying that 5 times fast. It is Freaks, the Unknown, and the Mystic. That is the cover. It is like a slipbox digipack style packaging. So that's how it looks on the side. It is spine number 1194. It is, and the films are from 1925 through 1932, so that's where they span. And the total runtime for all the films is 203 minutes. And if you look at this bottom paragraph, that's all special features. So it's loaded with special features. Like I said, it's digipack style slipbox, so it comes right out. You have the front there, and then on the back you get the film names. Just flips open, you get an essay book. It is a 2-disc set. Freaks is on one disc, and then The Unknown and the Mystic are on the other, and I'm assuming there's special features on both. I haven't checked out everything, so I can't be sure about that, but I think that's what I noticed when I had, I did watch Freaks. And then the essay book, it's essays and pictures about the films and probably about the filmmaker. But Freaks looked great. Everything, it was crystal clear, crispy picture. Everything looked great. So if this is a set that you are interested in, you have on your list, I say go for it. It is well worth the pickup. And I'm looking forward to watching The Unknown and the Mystic and getting into all the special features, because there is so much in this set. And if you don't know about Todd Browning, he's an interesting guy. Not only was he a filmmaker, but he also did vaudeville shows. He was involved in sideshows and circus performers. So he's got quite a background. And I say if you've been looking at this collection, definitely I say go for it. It's well worth it. And the next one is a film from 2019. It's 120 minutes. It is in color and it is in English. This is the 4K Blu-ray combo edition, spine number 1151, Sound of Metal. And this is a fantastic film. It's a very, very deep, layered film, but it is so, so good. Long and short of it, we have a guy here. He's a musician. He's in a band. It's just he and his girlfriend in the band, and he does the percussion. And what we realized very early on is that he is losing his hearing, and things are getting muffled, and he is trying to just play instinctively. So he is just trying to continue playing music, and he's trying to compensate for this hearing loss by like feeling the vibrations. He sits on the floor, he's feeling the vibrations of the music, and he doesn't tell anyone what's going on, but he keeps it up as long as he can. And at some point early on, it becomes very apparent that he cannot continue. He confides in his girlfriend what's going on, and they make a decision that he needs to get some help for this hearing situation, and then like other things that are going on with him and from his past that I don't want to get into because I don't want to spoil the film. But they take some time for him to get the help that he needs, and he goes to a facility. But I don't want to say any more about it because I want you to watch this film. But one of the things that is just so well done and so remarkable about this movie is the sound mixing. The way they take you and they put you in the point of view of the person losing their hearing. And the sound mixing is incredible because you really do feel like you're experiencing what this main character is going through, being in a world where he was used to hearing everything and how he sees it now, or how he hears it now. Just really well done. It's a fantastic film, and just I give it 5 stars all the way around. So if you haven't seen Sound of Metal, definitely do your homework and check it out, because I think it's one that I think most people will really enjoy. This one, there's nothing not to enjoy. It's really, really good stuff. But that will be my next pick. Now this next one is called Panique. It's a French film, and I have to say it's one of the few times that I have watched a movie, turned it off, immediately turned it right back on, and watched it again. And Panique is the movie. This is also the Blu-ray edition. It's from 1946, 98 minutes. It's in black and white and in French with English subtitles. And it is spine number 955. And I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis because all these are really easy to spoil, so I have to be very careful. This takes place in a small village. We have a guy who's very much a loner. He stays away from everyone. He doesn't gossip. He doesn't really get to know anyone. No one really knows him. They don't know much about him, just that he's there in the village. Very much an introvert. And very early on in the film, a woman is found murdered in the village. And right away, there's this mob mentality, and there's just this assumption that he must somehow be involved in the murder. And without any evidence or without following the trail of the crime, nothing, just this mob mentality starts to form, and they all kind of turn and look to him. Be it the truth or not, we don't know yet, and I'm going to leave it at that. But really what this is it's a look at that whole mob mentality when you're the person who's maybe a little different, and it really shows you the worst that humanity can be. But Panique is a fascinating film, and like I said, it's a really interesting look at humanity and how people can react in these situations. But Panique is one that, if you haven't seen it, definitely check it out because it's a good one. And this next one's fantastic. I think it was up for 5 Academy Awards, and one of the women who, one of the lead actresses in this, she was up for either Best Lead Actress or Best Supporting Actress for the 1996. She lost to Frances McDormand for, I believe, Fargo, but that's how good this is. Like, it was up for 5 different awards. I think it may have been up for Best Picture also. It's called Secrets and Lies. It's a film by Mike Leigh. Like I said, it's from 1996. It's 142 minutes in color, and it is in English, but it's from the UK. So I tell everybody, I watch everything with the subtitles on because I don't want to miss anything. But sometimes with the accents, you might miss some of the dialogue or misunderstand the dialogue. So put the subtitles on with this one just so you don't miss anything because the dialogue is so good. And this is spine number 1070. I'm going to keep my commentary brief on this one too because it's very easy to spoil. But this movie is, I would say it's equal parts dark comedy and very heartfelt. There's a lot of big moments and there's just a lot of really funny moments. And these 2 lead actresses are great. This gal here plays a woman by the name of Hortense. She's an optometrist. She has also been adopted. Both of her adoptive parents have died, and she decides that it's time in her life that she wants to seek out her birth mother, who turns out to be Cynthia. And she tries to contact her via phone, and Cynthia is frazzled, hangs right up, doesn't want anything to do with it. And eventually they agree to meet. And once they meet, things just go, they just go wild. That's all I'm going to say. It's a really funny, fun look at family dynamics, history, maybe history of people in your family that you may know or you may not know, secrets that people have been keeping, and it's really a very fun, interesting ride the whole way through. I can't say much about it because it'll really spoil it, but one thing that I do know about the film that I can share without ruining anything is that they wanted to make the first meeting of these 2 people feel very authentic, and that's hard to do when people know each other, to act like, you know, surprised at a first meeting. These 2 actresses had never met before, so they agreed that they were not going to meet until the point in the film when the 2 actresses were meant to meet, the mother and daughter are meant to meet. And it's a very authentic one take, one shot, and it is so good. It's just a home run all around. But this is a fantastic film. The actresses are great, the story's great, and like I said, you have the heartfelt moments and the deeply comedic moments. It is just a banger of a film. If you haven't seen Secrets and Lies, definitely put it high on your list because you're going to have a blast with it. Now this next one, I have my friend John over at PlanX2 to thank and blame for it because I spent money on the film, but it is well worth it because he loves Claudette Colbert, and he talked about her so much and just sang her praises so much. I said, I have to see a film that this woman is in. So I chose one. It's Claudette Colbert and Louise Beavers in Imitation of Life. And this is a fantastic film. It is a beautiful film. It's from spine number 1167. It's from 1934, 110 minutes, in black and white and in English. And basically what we have is we have 2 women. We have Claudette Colbert's character, and Louise Beavers plays her housekeeper. They are both single mothers, And as when the film starts out, their daughters are very, very young. They both have daughters. They're very, very young. And as the years go on, they become friends, and then they eventually become business partners. So that's a whole other story. But then they both have different issues as their daughters are growing up. They have really big issues with their daughters, and they're trying to support each other and help each other through those. And I don't want to get into it because I don't want to ruin it. I went into this totally blind, and I would suggest doing the same thing. But it's a really amazing look at the relationships between mothers and daughters, and also the importance of friendship between mothers to help each other through these different trials in life when you're dealing with raising kids, and also being single working mothers and all kinds of things. They get into all kinds of issues, but this is so well done. It's a wonderful film, fantastic acting on all parts, but really, really good stuff. So if you haven't seen Imitation of Life, put it high on your list to check out. And like I said, try to go into this one blind, because it's really the best way to do it, I think. But very, very good film. Now, this next one is a film by Hirokazu Koreeda, who I just love, and it is called Still Walking. This is from 2008. It's 114 minutes. It's in color. It is in Japanese with English subtitles, and it is spine number 554. And I don't want to say too much about this one either, but because I don't want to ruin it. But we basically have a young man, and he takes his wife, and he's going to a family gathering. And it is a gathering that they have every year for a reason I'm not going to get into, because it eventually reveals itself in the movie. And this is a very simple feeling film. The way it is shot and the way it's presented, you almost feel like you're at this family function with them. You feel like you're sitting at the table with this family. And there are so many issues. It's a family drama. It's got some really deep moments, and the way things happen, the way they talk to each other, they'll have these conversations, and then somebody will say something, and you know that they've been triggered by something, or there's an issue there, and there's really a lot of deep feelings going on, and there's a lot of issues going on that come out. Maybe they come out inappropriately at times, and then there's other times where you see like a lot of love. There's a lot of love there, but there's also some animosity and some hurt feelings and things going on that I can't really get into because I will ruin it. But if you want to see a beautiful, wonderful family drama, definitely check out Still Walking. It is fantastic. It is one of his best films. He also did films like Shoplifters and most recently Broker. So if you want to see two other great films by him, definitely check those out, because they're well worth it. He does not miss, in my opinion, but really Still Walking is fantastic, and I couldn't leave it off my list. But I'm going to grab the rest of my films and we'll wrap this. Okay, just a few more films and we're out of here. And this next one is probably it's definitely one of my favorites of 2021. It is called The Worst Person in the World. So good. Such a great film. It is spine number 1132. Again, it's from 2021. 127 minutes in color, and it is in Norwegian with English subtitles. And I heard this summarized as a snapshot of millennial angst, and that about sums it up. We meet our main character, Julie, who is in her early 30s and is trying to figure out everything from her career path to her relationship to what she wants with her future, with her career. Does she want marriage, motherhood, all the things that you're trying to decide at that age. And sometimes she does them very well, and sometimes she just goes off the rails and she goes off the deep end, and she makes horrible decisions and acts out very poorly, and maybe she does things that she shouldn't be doing, and then she gets back on the right track. She's all over the map. Don't look into this too much. Just go into it blind if it sounds like something you'd be interested in, because it's really, really good. The story, the writing, the characters, the acting, everything about this is really good, and you are going to feel every emotion. At one point, you're going to want to reach out and just slam her into a wall and say, get yourself together. Other times you're going to want to hug her and say it's going to be okay. And then there's other times you're laughing, and other times you can sit down and you can cry with her. But she is going through it, and she's dragging everyone else with her. But if you want to see a really good, like they said, a snapshot of millennial angst, definitely check out Worst Person in the World, because it's a good one. And this next one is the film that made me a Kristen Stewart fan, because before this I kind of I knew her from Twilight, and I was like, nah, I don't know. But she can act. Girl can act. She's awesome. And the thing that drew me to this film was the other lead, Juliette Binoche, is one of my favorite actresses, and they're in this together, and they're fantastic. It is Spine number 822, The Clouds of Sils Maria, and this is a fantastic film. It is the Blu-ray edition. It's from 2014. It's 124 minutes in color. It is in English, French, and German with English subtitles. And Juliette Binoche plays an actress, and Kristen Stewart is her assistant. And the long and short of it is Juliette Binoche has been asked to be in a play that she's been in formerly. There are two women in the play, an older woman and a younger. She formerly played the younger, and she assumes mistakenly that she's going to go back and play the same role. And they're like, you're older. You're playing the older role. She does not want that, and Kristen Stewart, as her assistant, says, "Listen, look, you're getting work. It's a play, you know. Let's just go. We'll learn the dialogue, and you'll go and you'll be a hit. Don't even worry about it." So they go and they rent out this secluded household where they're going to practice. They're going to run lines, and Kristen Stewart is going to help her prepare for her re-entrance into this play in another part. So the way this is written, and I don't want to get too much into it, it is brilliantly written, and the dialogue is so on point that there are times when you don't know if they're running lines or if they're actually just having a conversation that has nothing to do with their work. It is masterfully done. It is so well done. And the setting is beautiful. The cinematography is gorgeous, and the acting is top notch. There is nothing bad about this film. I thought it was amazing. If you have not seen The Clouds of Sils Maria, I highly, highly recommend it. And like I said, it's the film that made me a Kay Stewart fan. I'm on Team Kay Stewart now. And this is another film. It's great. It's also based on a true story. Very, very important. Again, I'm going to keep my commentary brief because I don't want to spoil anything. It is Spine number 985, Europa Europa. And you may have heard me talk about this one before, but I think it's such an important film, such an important topic, and it's worth bringing up again for the people who haven't heard me speak about it. This is the Blu-ray edition. It is from 1990. It's 112 minutes. It is in color. It is in German, Russian, and Polish with English subtitles. And what we have is we have a young guy. I believe it's supposed to it's like around the beginning of World War II, and Europe is all split up, and they are targeting the Jewish population. And a young man is told by his father, "You do anything you can to survive." And again, this is based on true events. So our young man, his name is Solomon. And what he does is he does everything in his power to hide the fact that he is Jewish. And the Germans mistake him for a young German boy, and he gets enlisted into the Hitler Youth Training Program. And he does this in order to survive, because the other option, we know what that is, and it's not good. And that is one of many things that happen to him. And he is basically hiding in plain sight, and he is fighting for survival. And it's amazing, and it's both amazing and heartbreaking, because it's amazing at what he is able to do to try and keep himself safe, but it is also heartbreaking that humanity or lack of humanity pushed him to a place where he had to do certain things just to survive. And if you haven't seen Europa Europa, I wouldn't say it's not to the point of like come and see where it's going to absolutely wreck you if you see the movie. This is a very interesting watch. It's very sad because we know the realities of the situation, but it's not to the level where you're going to be devastated, like Come and See has devastated a lot of people, and they said they'd never watch it again, as good as it is. But Europa Europa is a look at one young man's fight for survival during World War II, when the Jewish population was just being hunted relentlessly by the Nazis. So if you haven't seen Europa Europa, highly recommend it. And going in a different direction to lighten things up, we have a fun one. It is Spine number 823. This was originally recommended to me by my good friend Cinema Dave, who never misses, and it's an Arthur Hiller film, which you know it's going to be fun. It's a Blu-ray edition from 1979. It's 103 minutes in color and in English, and it is called The Inlaws, starring Peter Falk and Alan Arkin. And they play two fathers whose son and daughter are getting married. They don't really know each other. Alan Arkin plays a dentist. And we're not really sure what Peter Falk's character does. All we know is he's doing things that feel very mysterious, and he also travels a lot for his job. And after they have a dinner where they meet, because they figure, hey, our kids are getting married, we have to meet, Peter Falk's character shows up at Alan Arkin's dentistry practice, and he says, hey, listen, I need you to come help me out, and could you just help me do a few things? And what he asks him to do is he asks him to go and get something, or rob his office and get something out of a safe. And Alan Arkin, he's like, I have no idea what's going on. And all I can say is from that point on, just chaos ensues. It is so fun. It is so funny. We're not really sure what's going on. We're not sure who this guy is. He seems like he could be either a genius or mentally unstable, or he's actually onto something. We don't know what's going on, but it is so much fun. There are so many laugh out loud moments. The chemistry between these two guys on screen is amazing. And if you know, you know. But one of the funniest things in this one is towards the end, the airport scene. It is hilarious. But if you want something light and fun and it's going to make you laugh and you're going to get great acting and a great movie to boot, definitely check out The In-Laws, because it's an amazing one and it's a fun ride. So thank you, Cinema Dave, for another great recommendation. And this last one, I have talked about it time and time again, but I'm going to keep talking about it until everybody has watched it. And it's a film from Jane Campion, and I am just a huge fan of everything she does. But this is an earlier work. It's spine number 301. It is the Blu-ray edition from 1990. It's 158 minutes. It's a little on the long side. It is in color. But again, I believe it's from, yeah, it's in New Zealand. So I would use the subtitles again, just because if there's accents or things that you don't want to miss any of the dialogue, because this is another one that's fantastic. It's called An Angel at My Table. Here is the cover. And this is broken up into 3 chapters. If you don't know, this is a like a biopic about the life of New Zealand writer Janet Frame, and it's broken up into 3 different segments representing 3 different points in her life. And you can watch the film, like I watched it all the way through. You can stop it. There's logical stopping points. You can stop at any of the 3 chapters and just pick it up if you don't want to do the whole 158 runtime. But basically what we do is we learn about Janet Frame and her life and how she grew up in a very impoverished situation, her family situation. They were destitute. They basically had nothing, but they still were able to find happiness and have moments and joy. And she really, from a very young age, she knew what she wanted to do. She knew she wanted to write. She always wanted to be a writer. And we follow her through her life and we see the different challenges that she went through. And some of them are major, major heartbreaking challenges that she went through to try to find her path and to just get to the other side. But like I said, she had a really tough start with this destitute, impoverished family situation, and there's different things that go on that I can't get into, things that she personally struggled with, but she never took her eye off the prize. But it's just an amazing, amazing story about just a woman who was just quietly brilliant. And that's what I can say about it. And Jane Campion does a fantastic job. The cinematography in this is beautiful. The storytelling is impeccable. The way she tells this story and the way the story unfolds, that runtime just flew by for me. I could not take my eyes off this. I thought it was fantastic. And even the parts that are more difficult to watch and more like pull at the heartstrings, you really are rooting for her the whole time and you want to see what happens next. So if you want to learn about an amazing woman from an amazing writer-director, don't miss out on An Angel at My Table, because it is a winner. This is such an amazing story, and I just think everyone should know the story of Janet Frame, because it is just amazing what she was able to do. So those are my first round of Criterion picks for the upcoming, hopefully, Barnes & Noble Criterion 50% off sale, and I'm going to continue to do more of these. And hop over to the live stream tomorrow with me and Cinema Dave, because over on his YouTube channel, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will be talking about Criterion Noir picks and Noir picks for Noirvember for the upcoming sale and beyond. So if you can't catch us live, check us on the replay. But I want to thank you all for watching. As always, I appreciate it. You know I appreciate all of you being here. If you like content like this, also collection updates, top 10 lists, hauls, you name it, reviews, consider subscribing, hit the bell notification so you know when I'm going to upload again, which is Sunday, and I'm going to be doing my fall haul, all the goodies I picked up this fall. So that's it for today, and for now, that's a wrap.